What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a review of the Nike Savaleos weightlifting shoe. It's the latest addition to Nike's lifting shoe, and it is meant to be a hybrid between a Metcon shoe and a weightlifting shoe. So I've got my Nitro Meleo 2s, which is probably my favorite lifting shoe here, along with a Nike Metcon, so we can have a little bit of comparison and a look at these. But I think the first thing to address with this shoe is it's over $100 cheaper than the Nitro Meleo 4 even that's out, or the Nitro Meleo 3. Now, automatically you're gonna think this shoe is not gonna be as high quality as the others, but let's take a look at it and I'll let you know how it felt for me when I lifted it the other day, and you can make your mind up on this shoe, okay? So I go first of all a full size down in my lifting shoe. So I'd say it stays true to size as any other of the Nitro Meleo lifters. And the reason why I go a full size down in my lifting shoe is because I don't wear socks when I'm going heavy, and I like it to feel like a really snug fit. So I've gone a full size down, and I've got these in the black, which I'm gonna show you now. These come in 3 different colorways: a full white, a gray and yellow, and then this colorway, which is black and gray. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you get this shoe out of the box is it is noticeably lighter than the Nitro Meleo 2 and even the Nitro Meleo 4, which is meant to be Nike's out and out weightlifting shoes. But compared to this Metcon, I'd say there's not a heap difference in weight on these shoes. Very slightly heavier, but not a great deal different to this old Nike Metcon shoe, which is one of my favorites to wad in. Now, in terms of the aesthetics of this shoe, now I like the look of this. I like the big swoosh on the side. It's got a nice sheen finish. There's breathing holes in the front of this shoe, which is great. But this at the back of the shoe, what is that about? Now, the only thing I can think of, the reason why Nike have done this on this shoe, is to help with handstand push-ups. This is your glide wherever you're doing them. But you can see it is massively excessive. I don't think it really needs to be there. It reminds me of like the scalpel hanging out the front of a Peaky Blinder hat or something. It's just like a spaceship. Don't need it, okay? So, but there you go. In terms of the strap, I actually like the single strap that they've put on this shoe. It feels nice, supportive when you're wearing it. Old shoes have had 2 straps before. I don't think that's a necessity. For me, I never used to touch this strap whenever I'm doing up my weightlifting shoes anyway, so doesn't need to be there. That's why they've probably made the front of this shoe a little bit more narrow, because they've taken that strap away. So what I would say is bear that in mind. If you have got narrow feet, these shoes will be great for you, but if you've got wide feet, I noticed as soon as I put this shoe on how much more narrow it felt in the front of this shoe, okay? So even though I was on my same size, it really pulled my toes together. So if you've got those wide feet, please bear that in mind. Now, in terms of the heel height, I would say on these shoes, it is very slightly lower in the new Savaleos than it is over the Meleo 2 or the Meleo 4. Now, does it make a massive difference when you're lifting? If you've got bad ankle mobility, that couple of millimeters might make a difference, but not the be all and end all. I actually prefer a slightly lower heel height when I'm lifting, because my ankle mobility is good, and I also find that I stay onto my stay on flat feet better during my lift, which is one of my technical errors when I lift in a flatter shoe, which is why you'll sometimes see me snatching in a Metcon or even in my flip-flops sometimes, because I feel better doing that way. But if you do really struggle to find depth, then maybe a shoe with slightly higher heel height, the 4, the 2, or the Reebok Legacy Lifter may be a better option. One thing I want to show you is the inner sole difference in these shoes. So with the Nitro Meleo 2 or Meleo 4, you get a really supportive inner sole that goes in the shoe. Now this, if you've got flat feet, right, it's got quite a raised arch on the inside of the support, whereas if we look at the Meleo 2, there's no removable inner sole, so it doesn't have that same arch support as you will have found in other previous lifters. So bear that in mind, and the only reason why I can think Nike have done that is because this is meant to be a hybrid shoe. But even when you go back to a Metcon here and you have a look at the inner sole that's in a Metcon, it's got a removable inner sole, and as you can see, it's got that high arch support, although this is softer. So bear that in mind, especially if people have their own inserts. There isn't one to take out of this shoe, and I've just really got in there to try and remove it. It doesn't come out, so bear that in mind. Now, in terms of the back of the shoe, they've done the nice wide support at the back, which I loved about the Meleo 4 because it made me feel so much more stable in the bottom of my lifts. If I was slightly out technically with that wide base, it doesn't rock at all, which feels really good. That was a great addition to what they changed from the Nitro Meleo 2, was that extra width for the more support. So bear that in mind. Again, if you are unstable in the bottom of your lifts, this will be a good shoe for you. Finally, I've mentioned the weight, the height, the heel, the insole, the strap. Now, I want to tell you about how it felt when I lifted in it. I liked the fact that it was that little bit lighter because I didn't feel like I had breeze blocks on my feet. So that felt great, but you didn't give up any stability in the bottom of the lift. The flex in the toe box is a good amount, which is great for whenever you're doing split jerks or anything like that. But I wouldn't say, and this is the punchline really with this shoe, that it is an out and out hybrid shoe. Unless I had a workout that was snatches and handstand push-ups, I wouldn't necessarily opt for this shoe over using a Metcon. So it's definitely more geared towards the weightlifter than anything else. But I am gonna say that the cushion in the back of this heel is much better than what I've previously had in 2s, and it's the same as the 4, which is something that's really important that you didn't get with the Nitro Meleo 3 that came out. So I'd say that's a massive plus point for this shoe. But if I was to decide what shoe I'm going to be lifting in on a given day, bearing in mind I've only done 1 or 2 sessions with this shoe, it would still be the 2 because it is a little bit more of a heavy duty lifting shoe on rigidness than this one is. Although I'm still going to give this a massive thumbs up if you don't yet have a pair of lifting shoes and you are on a budget, just purely because this lifter is so much cheaper than the Meleo 2, which you probably have to pay way over RRP to get on a pair now, and cheaper than the Meleo 4. So I think what this has done for Nike is it's given people that don't want to stretch the full amount to a Meleo 4 and are only really using these shoes when they're doing weightlifting as part of their CrossFit training. But I will not be surprised if you start to see a lot more lifters that like a slightly lower heel height opt for this lifting shoe over the new Nitro Meleo 4. And for people that like a lighter lifting shoe over the heavier Nitro Meleo 2 or the Nitro Meleo 4. So if you want to get your hands on a pair of these, I was very lucky to get these sent to me by Whip Fitness in the UK. So they do international shipping. I got these within a few days from the UK. So that would be my place to go and get a pair of these if you are looking for them. And remember, they come in black, grey wolf and yellow, which is actually really nice in the flesh, or in white. I hope you've enjoyed my review of this Nike Savaleos lifter. And like I said, if you haven't got a pair, go and get yourselves another set of these. You will see me lifting in these over the next few weeks because they got a big thumbs up. Take care, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for all your lifting fans. And I'll see you guys soon.